Welcome back, everyone, to the deep dive. This time, we're going to shake things up a bit.
Oh,
Yeah, we're diving into a fictional short story.
interesting.
I know it's a little different than what we usually do, but trust me on this.
Okay.
This story is, well, it really gets you thinking.
I'm intrigued.
We're going to analyze the characters, their motivations.
Okay.
We'll look at the family dynamics and even touch on some pretty heavy ethical dilemmas.
Sounds fascinating.
Yeah.
I've always been amazed at how fiction can reveal so much about reality.
Absolutely. By exploring a made-up scenario, we
Right.
can sometimes gain insights into human behavior and all the complexities of life that we wouldn't get from just
Like just straight facts.
exactly, just looking at facts and figures.
Yeah.
This story throws us right into the middle of a very tense situation.
Okay.
We meet Diane, a single mom,
Okay.
who's really struggling financially.
Mm-hmm.
Her husband, Tom, supposedly walked out on her.
Oh, wow.
And their two kids,
Okay.
Max, who's 14,
Hmm.
and 10-year-old Janice.
Right away, you see this stark contrast.
Oh, yeah.
Diane's barely keeping things together financially.
But she's still...
She's determined to make things seem normal for her kids.
Yeah.
She creates this whole fun day for them with like a little carnival
Oh, that's nice.
right in their living room.
It's almost as if she's overcompensating, you know? Like she's trying to hide something deeper.
Yeah, like some deeper pain or guilt.
Exactly. With all this, forced happiness.
That's a really insightful observation.
Thanks.
It really highlights how complex her character is.
Yeah.
The author is subtly suggesting that there's more to Diane
Okay.
than we might initially think.
Yeah.
She's resourceful.
Right.
And obviously loves her kids,
Yeah.
but there's this underlying tension,
I can see that.
like something's not quite right.
Definitely. And that's where this special game comes into play.
Oh, this is interesting.
Diane sets it up all separate from the other carnival games.
Okay.
And she makes it cost more to play. And she blindfolds Max before he can even play.
Wow. Okay.
It's all very mysterious and a bit creepy.
The way the author builds suspense is brilliant.
I know, right?
Diane is playing with Max's expectations,
Brutally.
and by extension with ours as the readers.
Oh, I see that.
It's like she's setting a trap,
Yeah.
luring us in with the promise of something exciting,
Right. But also...
but also potentially dangerous.
And then, boom, the big reveal happens.
What happens?
Max takes off the blindfold,
Okay.
and he finds his dad, Tom,
Oh.
tied up and gagged right there in their living room.
What?
He's the target of this special game,
This is crazy.
and it's a dart game of all things.
No way.
It's a total shock.
Yeah.
The story shifts so quickly
Right.
from this almost sweet scene of a mom trying to make her kids happy
Right.
to this brutal act of revenge.
And the author doesn't shy away from the violence.
Not at all.
We're told about the blood on Tom's face, which makes
Yeah.
the whole thing feel so real and disturbing.
For sure, it's a huge turning point. Yeah.
A real wait, what just happened
Yeah.
moment.
Yeah, and then we hear Diane's explanation.
Yeah.
She talks about how Tom abandoned them,
Right.
how he never supported them financially,
Mm-hmm.
and how his actions hurt her and the kids.
She's completely calm, too.
Wow.
Like, she thinks she's totally justified.
It really makes you question her morality.
It does.
Is she a victim seeking justice?
Oh, right.
Or has she become the villain in this story?
That's the question, isn't it?
Crossing a line that shouldn't be crossed.
There's no easy answer.
And that's what makes it so compelling.
It really makes you think about how far someone might go
Yeah.
when they feel wronged and desperate.
Especially a parent trying to protect their kids.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It makes you wonder about the nature of justice.
Yeah.
Is revenge ever truly satisfying?
Right.
Or does it just lead to more pain?
These are some heavy questions.
They really are.
Oh.
And we're just getting started.
Oh, there's more.
Oh, yeah. But before we go too deep into that,
Let's consider another aspect of this whole situation.
once why?
While all this is happening,
Okay.
Max's little sister, Janice,
Hmm.
she's totally oblivious to everything.
Oh, wow.
She's living in this bubble of manufactured happiness,
Poor girl.
totally unaware of the dark truth behind this special game.
Yeah, and the whole carnival atmosphere.
It adds another layer of tragedy to the story.
It does. It makes you wonder,
Yeah.
is it better to be blissfully ignorant
Yeah.
or to face the harsh reality?
Right, even if it hurts.
Exactly. And how will Janice react when she eventually learns the truth?
Because we know she will eventually.
It's a ticking time bomb.
It is. The question isn't if the truth will come out,
Right.
but when and how.
And how will Max deal with all of this?
Right. He's old enough to understand how serious this is.
Yeah.
And now he's carrying this huge secret.
It's a lot for a 14-year-old.
It is. He's stuck in this impossible situation,
Yeah.
having to face the flaws of his parents and the dark side of love and family.
It raises all sorts of questions.
It does.
About the psychological effects of witnessing violence.
Yeah.
Especially within your own home.
And the burden of keeping such a heavy secret.
We're going to explore that more in a bit.
We are. But first,
Okay.
let's take a closer look at Diane's actions.
Yeah.
What's really driving her?
Right. Is it just revenge?
Yeah.
Or is there something more going on?
That's where things get really interesting.
Okay.
It's easy to label her as the bad guy,
Yeah.
but the story also gives us glimpses of her vulnerability
Interesting.
and the immense pressure she's under. We'll unpack all of that after the break.
So we were talking about Diane.
Yeah, her motivations and everything.
But let's shift focus a little
Okay.
to Max.
Yeah, that poor kid.
He's in a really tough spot psychologically.
Totally. It's like he's living a nightmare.
It is. He saw his mother imprison his father.
And now he has to deal with the consequences.
And he's got this huge secret.
Right, and no one to talk to about it.
What's particularly disturbing is
Wow.
it's not just a one-time thing.
Yeah.
Tom's still trapped in that house.
Right.
So Max is constantly reminded of what happened.
It's like a constant weight on him.
Exactly. It's not just the initial shock.
Right.
It's the ongoing stress and fear.
Yeah, the fear of what might happen next.
Exactly. And the knowledge that his own mother is capable of such violence.
That's got to be tough.
It's classic trauma.
Yeah.
You can't go through something like that without it having a deep psychological impact.
Right, like PTSD.
Exactly. Flashbacks, nightmares, anxiety,
All of that.
hypervigilance.
Ah.
It wouldn't
Yeah.
be surprising if Max started showing some of those symptoms.
And then there's the moral dilemma.
Right.
On the one hand, he probably gets why his mother did it.
Yeah, he knows about his father's past.
But on the other hand,
He's old enough to know it's wrong.
yeah, it's probably even criminal.
It is. He's torn between loyalty to his mother.
And his own sense of right and wrong.
It's a classic double bind.
But I think it goes even deeper than that.
How so?
Think about the guilt he must be feeling,
Yeah,
keeping this secret,
right. He's essentially complicit.
in his father's imprisonment,
He's been forced to choose sides.
in a fight he wants no part of.
Exactly. And no matter what side he chooses, there will be consequences.
And then we have Janice.
Right. The little sister.
She's completely sheltered from all of this.
Blissfully unaware.
Yeah, it's kind of heartbreaking.
It is, because her innocence is so fragile.
Right now she sees her mom as this protector.
Yeah, her source of happiness.
But that can't last forever.
No, the truth has to come out eventually.
And when it does, it's going to shatter her world.
It will. She's going to feel so betrayed.
Absolutely. When she realizes everything was a lie.
This experience is going to have a lasting impact on both kids.
It has to. They might develop trust issues.
Yeah, have trouble forming healthy relationships.
Struggle with guilt and shame.
It's all possible.
This story really shows how damaging family secrets can be.
It does. What seems like a way to protect your kids in the short term.
Can actually hurt them more in the long run.
Secrets have a way of festering.
And growing.
Yeah, creating this toxic
It's
environment.
full of suspicion and mistrust.
And the longer you keep them.
The harder it is to break free.
So we've talked about the kids.
Yeah,
But let's not forget about Diane.
right. The mom.
She's a very complex character.
She is driven by love, desperation.
And a need for revenge.
It's important to consider the societal pressures, too.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
The story mentions her financial struggle.
Right, working multiple jobs.
She's feeling the weight of being a single mom.
In a society that doesn't always support families in need.
Exactly. She might feel overwhelmed and trapped.
Like she has no other options.
And that desperation, combined with her resentment toward her ex,
Could have pushed her to this extreme.
it reminds us that personal choices are often shaped by bigger societal forces.
They are poverty, lack of resources, and societal expectations can all contribute to that feeling of hopelessness.
And that's what makes fiction so powerful.
Mm.
It lets us explore these complex issues through personal stories.
Right, by putting ourselves in the character's shoes.
We can better understand the challenges that many families face.
And the systemic factors that contribute to their struggles.
It's not about saying what Diane did was okay.
No, not all.
It's about trying to understand her situation.
Right, the context that led her to this point?
So we have these flawed characters,
Yeah,
this morally ambiguous situation,
right.
and a web of secrets that's about to unravel.
And to make it even more interesting,
What?
the story ends without a clear resolution.
No easy answers.
We're left to wonder what happens next.
And imagine the consequences for everyone. So we've been through a lot with this story.
We have.
Trauma, secrets, moral dilemmas.
It's been intense.
But what really gets me
Yeah.
is how it just ends.
Oh.
No resolution. No resolution.
No clear answers.
Just a bunch of unanswered questions.
It makes you think, doesn't it?
It does. The author leaves us hanging.
Yeah, like we're supposed to figure out what happens next. Exactly. We have all these pieces,
Of this broken family.
and it's like we're supposed to put them back together.
But they don't really fit.
Exactly. What will Max do now?
I don't know. Will he confront his mom?
Maybe try to free his dad?
Or will he just stay silent?
Carrying that secret.
And basically becoming part of it?
And Janice,
Yeah, what about her?
will she ever find out?
About her family?
And if she does, how will she handle it?
Can she even accept it?
After seeing her mom as this loving protector.
It's almost like the author is saying
What?
that the consequences of Diane's actions are still playing out,
Oh, yeah. The damage runs deep
and it's going to keep affecting them.
in ways we can't even imagine.
That day with the special game, it was
Yeah.
just a moment in time.
Put the trauma,
The betrayal,
the broken trust,
those things will stay with them.
probably forever.
It really makes you think about how our actions have consequences
Yeah.
that go way beyond the immediate situation.
Diane might have thought she was protecting her kids.
But she might have hurt them even more.
It shows how destructive secrets can be,
They might seem like a way to protect people.
but they often cause more harm.
In this story, that secret,
About Tom's imprisonment.
it becomes a prison for everyone.
Yeah. A source of constant anxiety.
So can they ever truly heal?
That's the question.
Can they forgive
Or will they stay trapped?
in this cycle of pain and secrets?
Those are tough questions.
They are.
Yeah.
But one thing's for sure,
What's that?
they need to talk to each other.
Yeah.
Break free from the silence.
And be honest.
Yeah.
But even if they do,
The scars will probably remain.
this isn't a fairy tale where
Right.
everything goes back to normal.
Life's more complicated than that.
This story shows that.
It does.
The messiness of life.
The lasting impact of trauma.
And that's the power of fiction.
Yeah.
It shows us a reflection of our own lives.
Makes us face uncomfortable truths.
Wrestle with tough moral questions.
It lets us see things from different perspectives.
And think about the consequences of our choices.
This has been such an eye-opening deep dive.
I agree.
It's made me think about my own family,
Yeah.
the secrets we keep,
It happens in every family.
and how important it is to be honest with each other.
Even when it's hard.
This might be a fictional story
But it shows us something real.
about human nature.
We all have our own special games.
Yeah, our own secrets.
And our own ways of dealing with pain.
As we wrap up,
Yeah,
I'm left with this feeling of unease,
I get that.
but also a real appreciation for stories.
Yeah, they could be so powerful.
They show us the darkest parts of humanity,
But they can also inspire us.
to be more understanding.
And compassionate.
Even in the face of darkness, there's hope,
There is hope for healing,
forgiveness.
maybe even redemption.
Keep asking questions, everyone,
Keep searching.
and keep diving deep.